welcome to Cold Ones. If you're not familiar with what Cold Ones is, it's a 5-minute cold plunge into the post-plunge warm-up where we get to know our guest. On the note of our guest, Michael Farrell will be our guest today. On you come.
Alright.
So, Michael, have you ever done an ice bath before?
I've not. I can't say I have.
Well, this is going to make an exciting video, I think. So, how are you looking forward to it, though? You looking forward to it?
I'm just looking forward to not being too cold.
Oh, well, there's no other thing for it then. Let's
straight
get into the ice
it.
bath. Whenever you're ready, mate.
Go for it again.
So guys, you'd never guess what just happened. I decided not to record the last time doing this. This is now the second time me and Michael went into this ice bath. But Michael's he's got the dog in him, so he's going back in. He wasn't going to back down, he was going for it. I did say that he didn't have to do it, but he doesn't even care. He's just a fucking unit. So anyway, the question that we've got from Michael today is, does he think that there is a limit to how successful you can be? And if so, what limiting factors is there that stop you?
Not at all. I'd say the sky's your limit for whatever you want to do in life. Don't you let other folk bring you down for whatever you want to do. Be your own person, go reach your own goals. And yeah, just do what you want to do.
Absolutely. I think when we talk about limiting factors, the only limiting factor in life that stops you from being fully successful is your mentality towards being successful. The only place that you stop yourself from going up that plethora is by stopping yourself within thinking you can't do it. Do you see the problem?
I just see what you've just done. You looked at the timer.
Oh, this is so mucked up, bro. This has never happened ever in the whole time I've done Cold Ones. And the minute you come, it would only be your episode, Michael.
Swing. 15-minute cold.
He doesn't even care. It's just cold me. But the post plunge one is gonna feel so much better when you get in there, bro.
It's gonna hit death.
Oh. Aye, so anyway, on the whole fucking success thing, I think a lot of people nowadays bring themselves down to such a low level because it's so comfortable where they are. So you get your job and suddenly you're just stuck there. Obviously, like, I'm not big to talk about being absolutely massive or that. Like, I'm doing what I'm doing. I've got my side quests or my side hustles that I'm on doing, but I've still got like a very basic job. It's not nothing special. No one's like, in fact, if anything, everyone's raving downwards about being fucking working where we do. But it's like, you're the own level of what you can do is on you. And that's just known fact by everybody, because until you push yourself, you'll never know.
Exactly, you gotta push yourself in life. You can't just sit back all the time. Yeah, have rest. Rest is important, but you've got to push yourself as hard as possible.
Absolutely.
Because nothing's stopping you. The only thing that's stopping you is yourself.
Absolutely, man. And it's a rough time sometimes for, I think, some people to kind of maybe go against what other people are saying as well, because obviously, like, you are your own limiting factor, but people don't help sometimes. Well, most of the time people don't help, because obviously when people bring you down, they make you feel less. Then you struggle to see past what you can become, and that's definitely a limiting factor too. But it's kind of a shame that our society's so like that now. I'd say, like, I think everyone nowadays should just believe in each other and we should all be there for each other.
We should all encourage each other to be a better person than what we were yesterday.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do that every day. Just keep pushing yourself to bigger and better things.
And I suppose that's what's important about having a good friend group around you. You know what I mean?
Exactly. If you want to be hanging around with the wrong folk, you want folk around you that, yeah, you can have a laugh with, but they also want to see you do well. They don't want to bring you down with them.
Absolutely. But obviously we all have our friends that we all believe in, but it's hard to find a group of friends like that nowadays. I think unless you've got people that you kind of grew up with, you kind of knew most of your life, that you trust, it's kind of hard to find new people in life that are like that. You know what I mean? It's just such a strange thing now, it's a shame because it shouldn't be. We should all be there. You should be able to go up to a stranger and let them help them see through dark times and stuff like that. But it's just not the case.
It's a shame, but as long as you've got good people around you, I think you're sorted. Absolutely. There's nothing stopping you.
So, for the second time round, he's heard the noise. This time we know it's recording. So, on that note, we're gonna go to the post-plunge warm-up where it's less wet and more warm. But before that, we're going to go into the water.
Let's go.
So that is us into the post-plunge warm-up. How was your ice bath, mate?
There's my 2 ice baths. They were good.
Aye, nearly your third.
No, they were good. It was about what I expected. I mean, I've done that kind of cold thing before, being on holiday, doing like plunge pools and that, but not for that long. So I think it's like the longevity of it that really started to take a toll on me.
Yeah, now, to be fair, if I had got the first part recorded where he went in, he reacted pretty. I mean, it was cold, but it was like same as every other person that goes into the water. You go cold and then you warm up and you feel better for it. But like overall, definitely you're up there with the reactions with being pretty normal. You know what I mean? Man's wham. He doesn't care. We got muscle layers. It doesn't even matter. But yeah. So in the post plunge warm up every single time, I ask 2 questions. Your first question is always about what's happened in your past, and the next one is always about what's happened or what you plan for the future.
Right.
So the first question I'm going to ask you is, what have you kind of been up to in the last couple of years? Anything significant, or how's your life been?
Well, the last couple of years, they've been a bit up and down. I mean, I've left school like a year ago. I finished that, graduated. I met my girlfriend, and I've been happy with her ever since. My plan after school was to kind of go into the electrician, but I'm not still too sure where I want to be in my life yet. I'm still working with you, and I'm happy where I am now, but I do want a long-term plan for the future to be able to progress and develop into someone better, essentially.
Yeah. What sorry, you were doing, did you say engineering?
Electrician.
Electrician, right.
So I'm still in the works of trying to get that done just now. There's like things called like SEC tests, which you can do, and it's like tests that just kind of, they're like basic math tests, and like, but I'm quite shit with maths.
Right, okay.
I always struggled with maths in school. Like, I passed my Nat 5 on my second attempt with like a tutor for the full year.
That's all right. You're not the only
and,
one.
like, I scraped it out of the skin of my teeth.
I sucked at maths too, man. You're not the only one.
And it was like you need to do like 60 questions in 60 minutes. I could do the maths, but I can't do it quick.
Yeah.
So that's what I struggle with. But I'm gonna try do it again. Try get an apprenticeship going, and if I can get that going, that's kind of like my long-term plan to kind of get into the electrician, get my gold card, which is what you get after like 4 years a day in it, and then run my own business. Because I've always wanted to be self-employed.
Yeah.
I don't really like working for people.
Yeah.
Always being told what to do.
Yeah.
I just want to be my own person, work for myself. That's a dream for me, essentially.
I think that's a dream for a lot of people. You know what I mean? I think that's everyone's end goal. It's not a place where a lot of people reach, but I reckon you've got it in you, man. You've got a good heart. Like, as a person that I've known for a while, you've got a good heart, and I reckon you've got what it takes to get there. Yeah. So I believe in you for that. Like, I didn't even know that you were into kind of doing electrician sort of stuff, or even saw past what you were doing already. Like, it's at work. I didn't even know that.
Yeah, I mean, I can get into different trades. It's just electrician is the one that kind of piques my interest the most.
Yeah, no, and that's what you want to go for. Something that definitely keeps you interested. Absolutely. Oh, so what about your bird? How did you meet your bird? Are you wanting to disclose that information?
No, of course.
Let's
so
go.
I met her through Hibs. We're both like big Hibs fans, and I can go on to like the topic of like football later, but we both met at like a pub before the game.
Oh, really?
Kind of just started chatting, and then changed that. I'll be honest, I didn't really think it was going to go anywhere. Like, we had good chat. Didn't think it was going to lead to much else, but now I'm really, really happy where I realised we're actually going on holiday in September.
Oh, really?
Booked our first holiday, Tenerife.
It's got to be. Tenerife's a place.
More of a lad's holiday, but he's still got like
no.
Park and that.
I will not have that. Tenerife is a beautiful place to go with like a bird, definitely. I wish that when I went, I had also. I wish that I had went to Tenerife with a bird rather than going with my pals. Because like, especially if you get like a really nice like place to stay, it just feels right. I don't know.
Different,
There's something about Tenerife. Like, obviously, you get like Las Americas, which is like your main party strip. But see if you go to like,
where we're going.
are you? Well, it's not. It's still not bad though, because there's like stuff in. It's not just last. It's what's it called? Victoria Strip.
It's something. Yeah, I think you're right.
It's something like that. Yeah, that place is bad. But like, if you go anywhere else,
from experience, it is bad. Yeah.
Have you been there before?
I've been with the boys.
Oh shit! Yeah.
Went last October.
Yeah.
That was messy. Like it won't be the same again. Like I actually get PTSD every time I go down to the strip.
Nah, definitely. Yeah. I think Tenerife is definitely a lad's holiday, but I think you could definitely do it right with a bird. Absolutely.
Yeah, because we want to do like more exploring and that, like see around the island.
Tenerife's got a lot to see as well. Like, did you see when you flew into Tenerife in October? Did you see the massive? Because it's got a massive like peaking mountain in the middle of it. Did you see that over the clouds when you went into there?
Yeah.
That is sick.
Oh, it's so cool.
It was the most beautiful thing I've ever saw in my life, man. When I went up there and I was videoing, I was like, that's fucking crazy, man. Harry was just in the back, like he was kicked out. Nah, Tenerife's a great place to be honest. I think if I was to go anywhere next with like a bird, it would definitely be there for me as well. I would love to return, but no, when it comes down to like holidays with your bird, there's no better place than anywhere. You know what I mean? Just get yourself away with them.
Just somewhere hot. That's all we really cared about. We didn't care where we were. Just somewhere hot we can chill. We both need it badly.
Yeah, that's always a good break. To be fair, getting away. How expensive was it in September? Was that right?
No, it was pretty cheap.
Yeah,
like,
October, sorry, yeah.
For, September. So September. It was 1724. If we got it for like it was 600 each.
Oh really?
For like everything, like flights included, hotel, all inclusive.
I don't know how much it cost for me in June. I think it was
June would be more expensive, like because it's in the.
No, I don't think it
summer.
was. I think me and Harry got it for like £400. That's because that's the only reason we went there.
How long did you go for?
A week.
A week. God, you just sent me the details of how you actually managed to pull that.
I don't know actually. We definitely it wasn't that expensive because I was like looking and I was like, maybe it was maybe April, maybe in April that we went, end of April, so maybe it was a bit cheaper.
Yeah, I guess like September and October, like you're going into like more family territory with like schools taking a bit of a break, then going into the October holidays. Yeah. Like they're always gonna go up in price a bit.
I suppose. I would love to go to like Belgium or something with a bird as well. Yeah, man,
like Croatia, as well.
Lovely Christmas places. But anyway, back to cold ones. Babbling on about Tenerife, man. So we're talking about your bird, Tenerife. Aye, so this is why I hate like. I would love to just go on a mad tangent all day, every day with somebody, but it's trying to kind of keep kind of within the lines as well because. I can't have like an episode of Cold Wans that goes on for hours, you know what I mean? Whereas I could do that. I could 100% sit here for like an hour and a bit with somebody and just chat. So easy, but yeah. So you met her, when was the Hibs game? How long ago was this?
It was...
Time ago.
It was like, I can't remember the specific game, like, but it was September 2021. Like, and we actually started like agreed, like boyfriend and girlfriend started properly dating in November, 26th November is when we actually properly started dating.
What, 2021?
Or 2021, aye.
Really?
Yeah.
You've had some graft on then, brother.
Yeah. Wait, 2020? No, I meant 2022. It's gonna be it's our 2-year anniversary coming up.
Yeah, that's fair. Mistakes can be made, brother. Mistakes can be made. It's still a long time ago.
If she sees it, she's not gonna be happy that that.
Please. Give him a chance. He has been in 15 minutes of cold water because I'm a fucking dick. You should think that man's got some dog in him, you know what I mean? You got dog.
Come on.
Anyway. Right, we'll move on to the second part. A good little bit of insight there from what you've done in your past. And you know what? I hope you're looking forward to your Tenerife holiday because I sure as hell would be. But the next question to come for Cold Wans, for Michael here, is what is your plans for the future? So I usually go for like a 5-year gap kind of for what people have to say because most of the people that come on this are like either 18 to 20.
Yeah.
Most of so far the demographic. So it's like you think of that as being like 25. And I always think that once you're past 25, your plans need to be properly set. Yeah. You know what I mean? So what's your plans in the future? I mean, you've already kind of thought it a wee bit.
I mentioned it before, like with the electrician or just any trade. I just want to kind of get under my belt. It's amazing if you can get a trade under your belt. You're sorted. But if I'm being honest, as a long-term goal, maybe not in the next 5 years. Well, 5 years, I want to have my work for myself, that's a long time ago. But like a really long time ago, I want to move out of the UK, and my dream country would be Japan. I love Japan, fucking love Japan. But I would also love to go to Australia as well. And my mum's cousins are there as well, and they say like they love it. Always got hot weather there. The money is really good in Australia as well for wackies.
Yeah.
So, like it's always needed. Like you actually see them driving about in like Bugattis and McLarens and that. It's mental what electricians get paid.
I think Australia seems like a really peaceful place.
Yeah.
I think if you're
apart from the like the wildlife, like you got some like mental crocodiles and that.
Aye. But outside of that, like if you think of it just as like a general populace kind of for society and stuff, it's definitely up there for one of the most like chill kind of places.
Yeah.
Because you've got like a lot more. Well, definitely crime's not nearly as high as it is even here, or like definitely not America. America's a terrible fucking demographic for that anyway. But like it just seems like a lovely place, you know what I mean? And again, weather, like you say, it's literally always warm. Yeah. You get like I think the winters, it's barely even cold. It's not even cold at all, I don't think, because of where it is. But it's like, but also like the kind of opportunities to see all the animals, the opportunities just as a place, you know what I mean? I think getting to know their kind of society and the way of their living would be great.
Love the accent as well.
Yeah, their accent is good as well.
It's so nice.
I mean, it's weird because it's like probably the closest country within what our kind of society's like, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I would say.
Yeah, 100% agree. Like I'd say like they've got a lot of this it's like same slang as us. Like they kind of like we're closer to them than they are to America for like being on the same kind of wavelength.
Yeah.
You get what I mean?
No, I would say so. Yeah. That's the only reason that the Queen still owned that island. You know what I mean? My boy got that fucking
big up was
on that mucker. So I mean that's actually also really interesting. I never took you to be one that wanted to move away and live in a different country, to be honest. It's
maybe just like the weather, and like wanting to see the world, like a bit. Like I want to do a lot of traveling.
Yeah.
When I'm older, just go see places, man. The life's too short to just stay in the same place. That's why I think you just got to push for it. Do whatever you got to do to try get moving. Just hit a road and see where it takes you.
Absolutely, man. And I think that's what a lot of people struggle with nowadays. Because it is hard just to be fair, your whole thing about the weather here, that's probably one of the biggest reasons folks struggle here. Because the weather dictates everything in life, you know what I mean?
It does.
Yeah, no one really believes that, but it's so true. Without good weather, you struggle.
Yeah, especially over here, like when we've had such a shit summer. For it's been a nice day the past few days, to be fair, but most of it has been disappointing. Like for wanting to go out with your mates or going to festivals or that, just going out drinking to the pub. It's not been ideal days, really.
And that's what you look forward to in the summer, or you should be looking forward to in the summer.
You wait all year for it, and it's shite.
Average at best, man, absolutely. Oh, well, that's a whole crazy thing, man. I can't believe that you wanted to move away. But it makes sense. So you've got no plans for a house or that, or like to like properly settle down or that? You would rather go traveling?
Yeah. I don't want to travel just like every single few weeks. I'd want to like settle down somewhere for like a few years, then go settle down again. Like just kind of be on the bounce a bit, like be a bit impulsive and try see other places, other cultures, see how they live and how I can live inside that pretty much.
Absolutely, man. No, that's fair enough. Well, that's a good wee insight that we've gotten there for you, Michael. I'm glad that you've came on to this, and because like this is a thing. Like I worked with you for like a good year at least. It was probably longer than that, way longer than that.
Good couple of years, I'd say.
But like, obviously, like within workplace, I got moved out into where you work now, so it makes it now we've had an opportunity to actually get to know each other properly. Because I didn't really know you that much before now. Like I've known you for a while, right? But when you first started and stuff, I didn't really speak to you as much. Whereas now, like I speak to you all the time. So it's good to like. This is what I love about Cold Ones. Even if it's people you know, you learn things that you don't know.
Exactly.
And that's something that you don't get an opportunity to really partake in unless you come to something like this. So for a lot of those people out there that are thinking about it, Come on, cold ones.
100%. Cleanses you.
Me and you can be boys. Unless you do a 15-minute ice bath and you sit like the abominable snowman in the ice
Then
bath.
you actually just can't be arsed.
Nah, to be fair, you've actually smashed that. Like, I've never saw. I know for a fact half the folk. Sorry, guys, I'm shouting you out. Half the folk that have been on this, if I turned into them, fucking never recorded, can we do it again? They'd be like,
No.
and that'd be it. Like, obviously, they would be like, no, I wouldn't say that. Like, I know half the folk that came on that wouldn't do it again because it's for some people, it's such a horrible feeling being in an ice bath because it's like so uncomfortable.
Aye.
It's not more of like a pain tolerance thing. It's more of like it's so uncomfortable to the point where some folk have to like give up in their head. If that makes sense.
Aye.
It's all about comfort in an ice bath.
Thing is, for what yous are gonna see, yous will just see me shivering. Like my shoulders were shaking. Same with my legs when I got in the second time. First time I got in, it was cold. Like, don't get me wrong, like very cold. But I was a lot more chill. I could just chill back. But the second time I got in was so much worse. I feel like I actually just tripled it, like tripled the coldness of it.
We need to give you a little plaque on the wall. 10-minute time, 10-minute cold ones. Season 2 ender.
You should have a thing that's like, see who can break the record.
No, because that would get dangerous. I know for a fact some dickhead would come on this and just be like, I'll stay in it for 50 minutes. But no, you're no. Like, I think you can, with like the temperature outside on our ice baths, because our ice baths sit at about, it's usually between 5 and 10 degrees at what our like water sits at in our normal weather. So that's not dangerous for your body like at all. Up to like 25 minutes or something, you can't get hypothermia in there. So that's why like if you were like, oh, I'm gonna go back in, I'd be like, that's sound. Whereas if that was way colder, like if I put ice and stuff in it, it was like lower than that. Because I used to put ice in it, but then I was like, some folks' bodies deal with that a lot worse.
Yeah.
Whereas that's still cold enough for you to get in it, it's still completely fine. Whereas when the ice was there, we'd bring it down to like probably like 2-3 degrees, and that's where you're getting to a point where like for some people it's not good. It's like it's all down to safety and stuff. So that's why I stopped putting ice in my ice bath. But like at the same time, like I knew you were gonna be safe going in there. You might be cold there.
Yeah.
But it's totally a mental
Might
game
not
by
feel
that point.
safe, but it is.
Yeah, no, that's it. Like it's totally a mental game in the ice baths. Like, and I would always recommend it to people. Like ice baths are so good as long as you do them right. I would never ever recommend doing them all the time. But if you have an ice bath or you buy an ice bath, even once a week, the difference it makes. You know what I mean? For your head, for your body, everything, man. It's life changing.
Aye. No, it feels like really good after you get out of it and after you've warmed up a bit. You feel like kind of like better in a way. Like it feels like you've been reset.
Yeah.
In a way, in a weird way. Like I don't want to sound like cringy when I say that, but it does actually feel like your body's just on a full reset. Like you've kind of just woke up for the first time.
Yeah. It does. That's why I usually do them in the morning. I didn't do them in the morning today because I was like, I've got one later, so I don't want to do 2 in a day. But usually I'll get up in the morning and I'll go for my ice bath. And honestly, the difference it makes for my day, day and night, man. You know what I mean? It's like I don't drink coffee anymore. Like I had a coffee there, but it's decaf. I don't drink caffeine anymore. That is my caffeine. Genuinely, it's like the same equivalent, just in a different kind of light. You know what I mean?
Thing is, I could actually switch that because, like, see if I didn't get a good sleep before work, it's just a monster for me. To try just see me through my shift, make it a bit better. But I could 100% start doing that. Even though ice bath, I didn't have an actual like gyro, like pure ice bath. But like, just even like a cold shower, that just to start your day.
It's good also to go to sleep with as well if you're struggling to sleep. Because I can't remember quite what it does to your body, but it basically lowers some sort of level in your body that then allows you to sleep better. Because I used to either do them at the very end of my day before I'm going to bed, or I do them at the very beginning of my day. It just depends. Depends what time I've got, because I'm pretty busy most of the time, so it's like it's just juggling time. You know what I mean? But it's just one of those things, mate. You know what I mean? If you get involved with it and you start to realise how good it is for you, you'll do it. But if you don't even take an opportunity at it, then that's up to you. You know what I mean? There's nothing, no harm in trying at the end of the day.
Exactly, yeah. 100% go for it.
Well, so I think what we'll do is we'll move on to our next section of Cold Ones. So our next section will be our quote of the day. So for our quote of the day today, Michael, it is, security is mostly a superstition. Life is either daring, adventure, or nothing. Helen Keller. So saying that security is mostly superstition. Life is either a daring adventure or nothing. What does that make you think of?
Well, if it's like daring adventure or nothing, I think that comes down to like, it's your choice of what either one of them you want to live.
Yeah.
So like for me, I'd want to be like more adventurous, go see things, but some folk, you know, will be daring and live a more dangerous life, or like nothing, as you say, like kind of just want to stay in the same place, I think, which is fine. Like that's completely fine if they want to settle down in the place where they grew up and just kind of live there. I respect that. That's fair enough, but I kind of just see it like that. Like it's like you kind of choose what life you want to be, or what life you want to have, rather.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, but it's also at the beginning saying security is superstition. So to me, that's like saying that being in a secure place is all faff kind of thing. Because if you stay in a secure place, you won't go anywhere. You could, but that's hypothetically speaking from what the quote's saying. So like, yeah, that's right. If you stay in the same place, you're not going to go anywhere, but you can still go places by being comfortable. It's just all down to, you won't go as fast, but I still believe that there is opportunity for people that like to stay comfortable, like to stay safe, because safety it's a nice feeling. Like it's not nice to be like, oh, I'm going to put all my eggs in one basket. Like, for example, like say you started doing trading or something, right? And you've got all this money. We all know that for trading, you put money in to get money. So you're risking the money you have to have an opportunity to gain more, or to lose all. So like in that situation, some people will be like, I'm not putting my money in case I don't get it back, because some people can't afford to lose that. A lot of people can't afford to lose that money, but they also don't have the kind of mindset to be like, oh, it could give me that opportunity to have more. Which I understand. Like,
I feel like sometimes you just got to go for it though. You've got to have a little bit of risk in life. You can't always just play it 100% safe with like these kind of things. Obviously not like major things, of course, play safe every time, but like have a bit of risk. Just take an opportunity if it comes at you.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a hard thing though, like, because money is such an important thing in life now. Like you need, and I mean it's such a stupid thing because you don't want to need money all the time, but you do need to have money all the time. It's so important, and it's such a shame that it's got to a point where it's that important that people can't do things in their life because it's so valuable. Because it's not, obviously it's easy to be like, oh, make sure you're using your time like wisely, make sure you're doing this, but time is money, and to some people that money that they spend their time on is all they get. So then you have to kind of balance out that even in an odd situation where you're like, how much time do people really have against how much money they really have? Because if you don't have money, you don't have more time. You know what I mean? You kind of see where I'm coming from.
Yeah, no, I get what you mean. Like I could carry on with that. It's like people who are like more born into like richer families have a bit more freedom. I think they don't need to go until they're a bit older. They don't need to go make the money themselves, so they can have a bit more time for themselves. But like for people like us, we need to just kind of graft down and just have a little, like, of course, have your free time. You need to relax. You can't just be a workaholic and just constantly be working. You need to have a bit of a relaxing time. But as you say, time's money. You need to find a good balance for being able to make money and also being able to just chill and do whatever you want to do in your free time.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, I feel like there's a lot of people nowadays that don't even have that free time because they're so desperate for money, which is honestly, it's a horrible thing to think about. Because no one ever in their life should be at a point where they're struggling that bad that they need to have no time basically. To make people 100%. Like to make their whole family run. It's a bad thing, but it's, to be fair, it's all down to the economy and how money's ran through this country and stuff. This country is the worst for tax in any country. We're the worst for tax, and that is the one main killer of every single person's paycheck.
That's just gives me another reason to want to move.
Obviously, like, I'm not gonna lie, we get a lot of things. We get very lucky in the UK for like obviously healthcare.
NHS and that.
Even outside of healthcare, like we've got loads of opportunities. Jobs are usually not too bad. There's not really too much a homeless problem here. Obviously, it's still there. There always is going to be homeless, but even in like Edinburgh, Glasgow, it's bad, but it's not.
Like you see it, but you don't see it as much as you do in other countries.
If you go to any third world country, even Tenerife, there were so many homeless people when I was there. Hundreds of them. So it's like you look at that and you're like, yeah, well, they have ways of helping out the homeless. Like they have these ways, like even if you're like, I don't know, recovering addict and stuff like that, they have ways of helping you. And these other countries maybe don't have those things. But like obviously in the same way, if you're just like a daily living society person to like member of the society to a member of the society, you get fucked with tax all the time, and it's like bad tax.
It's annoying because it's like, it feels like for whatever you get taxed, it feels like you've worked those hard hours for nothing.
Yeah.
Like, I get like you're contributing to society and that, and it's going towards that healthcare and like other things, other benefits for us, but it still just feels a bit wrong.
Yeah.
Like how much we get taxed.
Yeah. Especially for folk that, I mean, obviously I know like the higher you go in brackets of pay, the higher the tax goes.
Yeah.
But then in some way as well, you're like, well, these people have worked their way up to earn that much money, but they're getting slammed even harder. Like obviously, it makes sense because it's like obviously off a percentage. So you like, you have to think of that off of a wage.
They can still survive off, like, I know they'll get decreased a lot, but they can still survive off that, getting that much money decreased off them, whereas other people, like, they don't get paid as much. If they got taxed that much, that would, there'd be no point in working.
So like it does make sense, but in the same way, it's like you look at it in that respect, and it's like you're taxing all these people that have worked. Obviously, like see when folk have got too much money to the point where it's not really a big deal with tax, fair enough. But like there's folk like sitting in the mid ranges where they've worked hard for what they get, but then they start getting taxed like almost 3 times the amount as whoever's in the bottom row. But it's not even like the pay difference isn't that big a difference. You know what I mean? It's like I don't understand the whole tax thing here. I think it's so flawed in almost every way, especially considering other countries have managed to do it in a way where tax doesn't really exist.
Yeah, and it kind of feels fair to like the people of those countries are happier. Like we're also one of the more depressed countries right now, and taxing could be a big factor to that.
Yeah, it's definitely down to like obviously I speak of how we've got like things for homeless, we've got all these other things, but see when it comes down to just people, we don't have many ways of supporting people, if that makes sense, because the reason so many folk are depressed is because so many people can't afford to live.
Exactly.
But they live on like bare bones. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. Like a lot of people just need to work. Like it's.
I shot myself. Wait, fucking season 2 enders got ghosts and all sorts. Fuck. Oh.
Come on, Cold Wans, you'll get a 15-minute cold ice cold passing ghosts, man.
I actually can't believe I shot myself. I heard it, and you see me jump, mate. I'm gonna get us both on that shot. That's hilarious.
I guess.
Oh, I can't remember what you're talking about now because I've been so off dragged by that stupid bottle.
I think I was on about it's just like folk who are like not earning as much, and they're the more depressed ones because they're needing to work even harder and longer.
Yeah.
To be able to even just support a little bit of what they need, and it's not fair on them because they're working longer hours and still not getting enough to get ends meet.
But that's a small or a big problem that a small podcast won't change. Could help in the right direction, but I don't think there's too much point of us wasting too much time on talking about it because it'll be walking in circles.
I could talk all day about it.
Because the thing is as well, like, I know I just said we'll move on, but if you think about it, like, see all the people that go into, like, to be Prime Minister, like all the groups of parties and they offer you all these things and they promise these things, they never stick with it. See, like, once they actually get power, all those promises become very belittled and they start to, like...
They're all liars, man. They just, like, they'll say they're going to improve something, they might do it a little bit, but not as effectively as they said, as they promised they were gonna.
No.
But it's always just about trying to get the votes at the end of the day, and once they have that power, they're like, right, sorted.
Now we're done here.
They said we need to follow through.
It's a whole fucked up world we live in, man. But I suppose we're not the biggest fish in the sea. We're just here to talk like real people, and that's what Cold Wans is all about. Oh. Well, anyway, I feel like we've slapped that. The quote became slowly about the UK again, but it is what it is. See, that's what I said to you when we started. I went, we just kind of talk shit because at the end of the day, there's nothing wrong with just talking.
Exactly. It feels good to get stuff off your chest as well. If you ever are bottling up anything and feel comfortable enough to talk about it here, you can always come and do it.
Exactly. I'm always happy to hear an actual proper like life story. It always, Paul Bain, you know you're out there. real one for what you done on that episode of Cold Wans. Not a lot of people would have done it, but you did. And I respect you for that so much. But yeah, man, I feel like it is. Cold Wans is such a good place for people to come. It's just no one wants to do it. Well, that's a lie. Still got loads of people to do it, but I mean, like, it's not. I don't know what I thought when I first started doing it. It was either I was gonna do a couple of episodes and it would just stop, or I didn't know if it was gonna be you'd see all these people wanting to do it, and it's kind of reached that middle ground. It's like you don't want to stop because I enjoy doing this. Like I'm starting to like invest into this podcast because I'm like this could go somewhere, and
it could 100%.
It's not even about money to me. It's literally like I do this because I enjoy doing it. Yeah. I get to bring other people that I know or even don't know that don't feel fully maybe comfortable in themselves, and they get to speak in front of people. This isn't an opportunity any daily person would usually get. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. I think you're even further than middle ground. I thought you would have been, because I wouldn't see why you wouldn't keep doing it. Like, everyone should keep doing something they enjoy or something they're passionate about and keep following it to their heart's content.
Yeah.
And as you say, like, you're investing in it, you've got a long-term plan for the podcast, and that's really good. That's only what every podcast, every business needs.
Yeah. Is
a long-term plan, and that's good. That's really good that you've got that.
It's a hard thing though. Like, see, especially like this is 20 episodes. This is episode 20. When you get this deep in, and obviously I know I get good views and stuff. It's nothing about that. Like, but like, see when you can't see the longevity of what's happened after 20 episodes. Obviously, it's changed a lot since then.
That's such a long way.
Obviously, it's got a long way to go. 20 episodes is not that long for a podcast, especially not when I'm where I want to be equipment-wise. Like this is me just now starting to get to where I want to kind of be. Where like the different shots, I'm gonna have my fucking mount hand fucking microphones with headphones on with the whole setup. Once that's all in play, this podcast will be about 100 times better than this.
Exactly, yeah.
And right now, I don't know if it's just like bias, but every time I watch it back, like I watch them back every so often, and I think they're all good. But I think it's because they've all got their own kind of spice. They've got their own passion because it's different people every time.
I feel like everyone's got something different to talk about.
Even if the episodes are like structured the same, you always end up talking about different things.
Yeah.
Because no one's life's the same. Exactly. Everyone's got their own shit.
That's why this opportunity is just like is endless for you, because you can always have a unique episode, even though it's the same structure and the same things that you're doing. You're always gonna end up having a different episode from the last one. Yeah. Completely different, talk about different stuff.
And I honestly think I think this is great because I love the opportunity to give it to anybody. I love the opportunity or the situation where I get to help someone else maybe feel more comfortable in themselves. That's good for me. And obviously, like, it can be scary sitting in front of a camera knowing that like endless amounts of people can see this now. Once this is recorded, once it's up, whoever wants to watch it can watch it.
Exactly.
But as long as you're confident in yourself enough to know that, and you're confident in dealing with anybody that has anything negative to say about it, which is not really anybody, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because like, if you're saying negative things about something like this, you're just a negative person. Because there's nothing bad about what we're doing right now.
Yeah, 100%. Like,
if anything, this is about problems in the world, mental health. There's everything here is to be spoken about because it's important. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And it makes you feel better as well. Like, it's not just about like viewing the podcast, but coming on it, doing a nice bath, and then just heating up, having a little bit of chat after. You feel a lot better than you did before you came on. And I can say that's worked for me anyway.
My boy's vouching for Cold Wans. Nah, absolutely, man. But it's like it's just an opportunity that anyone there, Michael's took the opportunity, but any of you guys out there should think about maybe. I don't know. It's up to you. Honestly, you're the only one that can decide that for yourselves. But yeah. So we're gonna move on to the last part of Cold Wans. So I've got a question for you that I ask every other person that ever comes onto Cold Wans, and that question is: do you have a quote for the people out there? It can be, well, it could be a quote. It could be just a happy word. It could be something to help people get across the road. Just anything in general that you think's good for the people out there to listen to.
I don't really have a quote, but just kind of like advice for like if you're wanting to, kind of what we're talking about in the ice bath, if you're wanting a goal and you can see it, the hardest step is the first step. And after that, it gets easier, I think. You should just go for that first step, because everyone doesn't. Not a lot of people want to go for the first step because they're scared of what other people might think. They're maybe not confident enough in themselves to do it. But as I say, life's too short. You should just go for it. Get that first step and then see how you do, and just keep progressing. I'd say.
Absolutely. And I think that is a good bit of advice for anybody. You know what I mean? It's not just for anyone that wants to be successful, not anyone that just wants to do extra in life. I think that's just a good quote for anyone, or good advice.
Yeah.
Because even the smallest things take that first step, but once you're over that first step, you do usually start snowballing, and you'll find your feet. Yeah, absolutely, man. Well, what a great episode, and an absolute pleasure it was having you on, mate.
No worries,
Thank you for coming on.
Cheers.
It's an absolute delight, mate. Anyway, guys, keep grinding on, and we'll see you again tomorrow.
Right, see yous.